Hey, Tammy Jersey Roberts here with your Vitality Boost. What exactly is a functional nutrition counselor and how do they help people? So, I just wanted to talk a little bit about how I work differently than a lot of health practitioners that you may run into. I work under the premise that everything is connected. That's the first thing that I look at. So people come to me and, for example, say, I need to lose weight. And weight is a symptom of something bigger going on. It could be underweight or overweight. But I don't just throw someone on a diet and say, good luck with that. I know there's a lot of popular diets out there, keto, paleo, etc., etc., and there's a lot of people saying that, oh, if you want to lose weight, this is what you have to do. And it's about suffering and deprivation, and a lot of pain and anxiety are associated with that. And I look at the whole person, that everything is connected, and I back that up and I find out what it is with them that is stopping their body from going to the natural weight that they're supposed to be. I look at a person and I know their natural state is perfect health, so I look at what is blocking them from going to their perfect weight, whether they need to gain weight or lose weight, what is blocking them. And a lot of that sometimes is stress, which a lot of people feel like that's a dismissal um, symptom. I look at it as a symptom, and it's only one factor in an entire picture. I look at if the person's sleeping, if they're having blood sugar swings, and several other things that I look at first. I back it up, and if there's a genetic predisposition, if there's other symptoms going on or other diagnosis, maybe there's diabetes, high blood pressure, and I back all of that up and I look at the whole picture to find out what is blocking this person from being in a state of perfect health. And sometimes it is stress, and it could be internal stress, it could be allergies, and it could be some type of autoimmune expressing itself. And I don't need a diagnosis, and I don't do a diagnosis. I don't do any of that. It doesn't even matter that much. I just look at it as part of the whole picture of someone and what's going on with them, what's going on in there. And are there vitamin mineral deficiencies? And I work on bringing those to sufficiencies. But the very first thing that I do with most people is clear the muddy waters. I may put them on some kind of a recommendation to eat certain foods or certain menu plan for maybe 2 or 3 weeks, and I have them track everything exactly when they're eating, when they're pooping, when they're sleeping, what their blood sugar is. And I track that and I look for patterns and I look for the overall picture to make sure that they're getting all of the nutrients that their body needs. And everyone is unique. That's the other thing that I look at. Like, one diet does not fit all. I mean, that is just obvious because I'm one person for sure that I've been on every diet there is. And when I read the book and I read all the literature and I do everything, I'm like, oh, that must be what's going on with me. I need to go on this to lose weight. And sometimes they work for a while, but they don't work for forever. They don't bring me into balance. And then when I go off of that eating plan, and guess what? Probably the same things happen to you. You gain the weight back or you gain even more weight back. That's what happened to me with the Atkins diet, which was super high fat and totally not the right plan for me. And it was miserable. It was totally about suffering and sacrifice. Oh my goodness, but I'm kind of getting sidetracked here. So I'm looking at everything is connected. All the signs, symptoms, all of that is connected. All the systems are connected and they're designed perfectly to work together. So what is blocking is different for everyone. For example, you have two people that have been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. Well, they did not get there the same way, and they're not going to come out the same way. They're not going to come out of it the same way. They're going to need a different plan. They're going to need something that's individualized and personalized for them to be able to work with them and their lifestyle and the way that they live. I mean, everyone is unique in that area. And all the symptoms matter, all things matter. And if someone has a high stress job and they have a high stress relationships, if they have, um, a lot of different things going on, it could be migraines, it could be IBS, it could be diabetes, overweight, underweight. It doesn't really matter. I look at the whole picture of what's going on and I put it together. I connect the dots. I do some medical detective work to go beneath the form on what exactly is causing these symptoms to express themselves. And it could be in the genes, it could be in the environment, it could be in the food, it could be in inflammation and what's behind the inflammation, if there's a lot of oxidative stress or toxins, and it could be in the digestive health if there's a lot of other things going on, but all of that is connected, like I said, and it all matters, and everyone is unique. And it's a very unique field in that I'm definitely trained in all the systems and how they work together, but it's also a lot of getting to understand you and what's going on with you in your life and how you see things, and being able to use a little bit of intuition and compassion to piece it all together and actually come up with some recommendations and solutions and some education for you on some things that you might want to try. Now, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, um, so I just want to make that clear that I've got a different kind of training that is specific to functional nutrition, and that's why it's called that. It's a relatively new position in Western societies because autoimmunity is just going bananas. Over 80 million people now have a diagnosed autoimmune disorder, and our doctors there's a lot of them that are not trained in this. This is not what their specialty is. And I don't have anything against doctors. They're doing the best they can with what they've got to work with and what their training has provided with them for them. But it's taking people with autoimmune disorders 3 to 4 doctors on average, so there's some more and there's some less, to even get a diagnosis, and this is taking 4 to 5 years to even get that diagnosis. But autoimmunity has signs and symptoms way before there's ever a diagnosis, and they come and they go, but they actually are already in your body for 7 or 8 years before they ever express. And so that's what I'm trying to do, to go to the roots of the problem. And there's more than one. A lot of times, let's just take for example, maybe Alzheimer's diagnosis. By the time it gets diagnosed, there were already signs and symptoms that was coming on, and that could have been handled way before there was ever a diagnosis, with diet and lifestyle changes and maybe a few other things. But it's not just one thing. is what I'm getting at. There's many signs and symptoms. Like Alzheimer's, there could be 36 different signs and symptoms, and maybe you don't have to address all of them. Maybe if you just address 10 to 12 of them, it all goes away. And so that's what I do with people in the beginning is I clear the muddy waters, and 90% of the time when I'm doing this with people, all the symptoms that they have disappear. Yay! That's the great part about my job. And I love working with people and getting to know people and helping people. So if you're interested in a consultation with me, please check out my website at yourvitalitynetwork.com. That's yourvitalitynetwork.com. And I hope that I can talk to you soon and help you out. Thank you. Tami Jersey Roberts, Your Vitality Network.